How's it going, everyone? Andy here from 4K Downtime. So, Nintendo's Nindie Direct have just wrapped up, and in my opinion, it was actually pretty good. It's definitely better than the last couple of them that I've actually seen, which didn't really impress me all that much, just purely because there was nothing really for me during those last couple of them. They weren't bad by any means, but it's just literally just nothing really stood out. I think the last one that I truly did enjoy was the one where Travis Strikes Again was released. That was probably the last good one I really remember. The ones that came after didn't really impress me all that much, but this one definitely did. So I've got a list here, and bear in mind, I might have missed a few of them just purely because they've announced quite a bit, because knowing that it's half an hour, of course you're bound to miss a few. So hopefully I didn't miss out too many. I think I more or less got most of them, maybe just one or two that I've probably left out. But let's start with the very first one, which is also the first one that they announced. Cuphead is actually coming. So all those rumors about Cuphead and Ori, unfortunately we didn't get any announcement for Ori yet, but Cuphead is coming, and in my opinion, I mean, I've only tried Ori for a little bit. I've actually played through Cuphead already on the PC, but I'm definitely going to double dip for this one. Having it on the go is so good, and from what I can see of it, it looks to be a very faithful port. Of course the resolution is probably going to not be as crisp as it was on the Xbox One, but from what I can see, I could barely tell any difference at all. It looks like it's going to be a very faithful port, and I can't wait to play it. And you wouldn't need to wait that long either, because apparently it's coming on April 18th, so really quick. So it's coming soon, which is awesome, and I can't wait. And anybody who hasn't tried it yet, if they haven't got an Xbox One and they want to really play it on the Switch, well, rejoice, man, because this is one of those games that Switch owners has been clamoring for ages, and I'm so glad that's finally come in. Next up, we got My Friend is Pedro, and this game, to me, I've always thought it's kind of like a Deadpool game, because the way how you see him just dances around, it just kind of it looks like something that Deadpool would do. It's a very funky game, and it looks pretty fun. It looks like, the strategy is just kind of to dance around your enemies, while shooting them, because it looks very funny, especially accompanied by the music. Then we have Neo Cab. This game, I'm not too sure what to think of it so far, because not much was shown about it yet. The concept of it looks interesting, because it looks like you're just a cab driver driving around, and you're going to pick up passengers and stuff. And I think they said one of your goals was to search for a friend or something like that, while you're trying to avoid hostile police or something like that. I might need to go back and watch it, but it looks interesting nonetheless. The Red Lantern is another game that not necessarily my game, but I like the idea how it has RNG factor into it. So your playthrough always feels different, you're with your dogs and everything like that, and sometimes you can encounter hostile animals, you see a bear there, and it seems to play a very heavy emphasis on survival as well. I do like this kind of gameplay mechanic in Breath of the Wild or any other games that has survival instincts in it, but this one I need to see a little bit more. Again, most of these games actually I just need to see a little bit more before I could determine whether or not if I definitely am going to buy it. Dark Woods is an indie survival horror game. It's top-down view, and again, and just like all of the others, it looks pretty interesting. And but with this, I'm just not 100% too sure, because the gameplay was very brief, and I don't know if it was just me when I was watching it, but it looks very dark. Throughout the entire environment, it almost seems like there's only one tiny lit area, and that's basically when you're controlling your character. But this is another one that I need to see more. Then we have Katana Zero. This game caught my eye straight away because it reminded me a lot of Dead Cells. Now, one of the main reasons why I said that is because the way how you see him slash his enemies, and the way how he kind of bashes through the door, that effect just looks surprisingly similar to Dead Cells. But it seems like there's a lot of things that makes it stand out as well. For example, he could slow down time, he could rewind time as well. So there's a bit of Prince of Persia element that they're playing with as well. Graphically, it looks good, and I just love how when you finish your mission, you could go back to your home, and your home just looks surprisingly like, well, any regular home and everything, and you have to see a psychiatrist or something like that to get your medication. Looks pretty weird, but in terms of gameplay wise, it looks pretty interesting. So this is definitely another one I'm looking out for. Now, the other game that I am also looking out for is Rad. This game's done by Tim Schafer. I'm a pretty big fan of his, actually. So when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, cool. Your protagonist, for starters, yeah. When I looked at him, I just instantly felt like, man, this kid is so 80s. The haircut, the glasses that he has, and everything like that. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Cameo by Rare, where he seems to can get his enemies' abilities and then use his abilities to kind of like traverse the environment and stuff like that. You saw him turn into a snake. There was this one shot that I thought was pretty funny. It's like he was farting out like little versions of himself. Like it looks really awkward. It's essentially like, it's Tim Schafer's like, trademark style. Even the way how the game looks, the environments and everything. It looks really good, and I just can't wait to play this one, because like I said, I like Tim Schafer's work. I love Psychonauts, so this game, it looks really interesting. I just can't wait to try out. Then there was a few quick drops like Creator of the Wells, Bloodroot, Pine, which looks pretty rough at the moment. There's Super Crate Box, Nuclear Throne, Ultra Bugs, and all I could say for all of these is that I need to see more. Then there was Swim Sanity, a game that it's again based on co-op play, like pretty much like all of those other co-op games like Castle Crushes and everything like that. It has some pretty funny bosses. Like when I was looking at the bosses, yeah, they were hilariously drawn when I saw them. But again, this is one of those, yeah, it's like, it just looks very similar to a lot of other indie games that has a similar gameplay mechanic, so I need to see more for this one. Now, one of the other surprises that they dropped down was Blaster Master 02. I'm a big fan of NT Creates. I love Blaster Master 0. I love their work on the Mega Man 0 series, as well as Mega Man 9 and 10. And of course, Mighty Gunvolt as well, or Gunvolt in general, those are all great. So it should come as no surprise that I'm really looking forward to this, and is out right now. So for anybody who's a big fan of Blaster Master 0, this one seems to be everything the first game is, and better. There's multiple planets, I love the new counter system, and I love the idea that oh, so Jason is not actually the only person with a tank in this galaxy. It seems like, there's a lot of other pilots who has their own tanks as well. I'm not too sure could you play as them, but it's nice to actually see that you can meet other fellow tankers, I guess you could say. Following that, we have the Stranger Things, the game. I know I've already got a few friends that have said to me that they can't wait to buy this. I've never actually watched the Stranger Things TV series. I've heard a lot of really good things about it, but I haven't seen it yet. So this game so far, I don't really know what to think about it yet, just purely because I haven't followed the series. I'm not sure if it's made for those people who watch the series, but yeah, nothing about the game really speaks to me at the moment. Then they talk about there's going to be a lot of sales on the eShop, so if you want to support indie games, hey, go on the eShop, and apparently there's a lot of sales right now. And finally, this comes to the last part, is there's a crossover between Zelda and Crypt of the Necrodancer. Now, this is a game that I've heard a lot of really good things about it. I've got quite a few friends who have played it and told me that, oh Andy, you really need to try it. But I never just got the time to actually try it out. There's so many indie games that I really want to play that I never actually had the time. One perfect example would be Guacamelee. I've been saying to myself so long to try out Guacamelee, and now the sequel's out and I still haven't played the first game yet. So I filed Crypt of the Necrodancer, another game that I just needed to try, but yet haven't. But now they've just given me a perfect reason to go and play it now, because there's going to be a crossover with Zelda and Link. The trailer actually showed off that you could play as them, so they're not just NPCs that you can interact with, you can actually play as them. That trailer looked really cool, and yeah, if there's a reason that I should play it right now, it will probably be that. But anyway guys, let us know what you think about the Nindie Direct. Did you like it? Did you not? Comment below and let us know. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This is Andy from 4K Downtime signing off. Have a good one.